Hey Govix here. Today I want to talk about the patch and my thoughts on it. Played through today, 5 hours about streaming, tested it, played games. Let's go through it and break down. Overall, up front, I will say the gameplay is very similarly to what we have had. Sorry, I could barely get that out. That's what she said. The changes that they went through are really nice, but they didn't really get anything. They didn't really touch the meta too much. You're still going to basically see a lot of runs. It's been touched a little bit with Nasty Streak, obviously. But contain blitzes are still the defense du jour. It's disappointing they didn't touch those at all. And I guess we'll see how it plays out. But basically, every game is going to be the same now. People in 3-4 odd. Big dime 1-4-6 contain blitz. They added some new formations. You're still going to see contain blitzes out of those formations. That you can do the same thing. You can pinch and press the line of scrimmage without any punishment to be beat over the top, really. So it is still a little sad that the game's still playing with very little spacing to ensure its ability kind of, get out there and change. But let's get into key highlights. Mid-season playbook update. We'll get to the playbook updates in a second. They did franchise. They added new X Factor ability Omaha. Some people are saying the Omaha caused desyncs for them. Basically, if they get in a game with Omaha, they the opponent de-seed on them. Or like not disconnect, but like desync, so nobody gets a win, nobody gets a loss. And so we'll see if that's still an issue going forward. Hopefully, it's not. They did say general connectivity and stability improvements. Whether this means they're still working on the disconnect glitch, I don't know. But I know there are still people that have very low strength of schedules in Weekend League. Let's take a look at, leaderboard for head-to-head seasons for average points for. Yeah, so there still are some really bad DC glitchers still on the leaderboard there. So they haven't really done that. This guy hit me a few times with the DC glitch, but they're still in the top 100, so they haven't all been taken care of, and it's still a thing in game. Let's go back to that. So connectivity. Hopefully they can fix that down the road. They added player likenesses, some patches, alternate pants, new equipment. I don't really care about that. Franchise, I don't really care either. The playbook updates are kind of like the meat of it. The gameplay updates, I think, are more important, but the new playbooks are always super cool to see. The issue with a lot of the new playbooks is a lot of the plays that they added to the game are basically very similar to plays that we already had. A lot of new formations. It's basically, it's weird they added new formations, but the plays are very, very familiar versus what we've seen in other stuff so far. So why can't they make it new formation and unique plays coming out? Maybe there's only so many plays they have, but out of these formations, which are seen, especially like the Saints one with the Taysom Hill QB shotgun, they kind of renamed it with the formation that allows QB3 to be subbed into multiple offensive skill positions. Really neat. For Mutt, you'll put I don't know why you'd need a Lamar at a halfback, but be kind of cool for sure. But there's a little bit of QB power in the Taysom Hill formation. We went to practice mode and tested out. Haven't played a game. Maybe I'll do a gameplay of it on my second channel in the coming days. We'll try that out. Single back wing tight U. They have Taysom Hill there too at the tight end 3 position. So the problem with Mutt is that quarterbacks don't have the greatest catching or carrying. So putting them into these positions, is it more dangerous than straight up just having regular skill position players there? No. So the thing was with Regs, you don't have as many great athletes as you do in Mutt, where we have the greatest athletes of all time playing on each side of the ball. So that's kind of cool for Regs and stuff. But we'll see its impact on Mutt. I don't expect the Taysom Hill outside of that one shotgun formation to do too crazy. The new defensive formations, the 2-4-5 odd, they were both the new one. The nickel triple was added to the Bears, and the 2-4-5 odd was added. So I did some practice mode on it. Basically, what I found, I tried to get some loop blitzes to happen in 2-4-5 odd, much like 3-3-5 odd has that loop blitzes that we've seen that dominated the meta. That I think it was the start of last year before they fixed it. So the loop blitz, it's still okay, but the really pressure, it's coming through the edge blitzes, and these things do provide good edge blitz, just like almost, not every formation in game, but almost every formation has a good, pressure or dual pressure, especially that's why people are in 3-4, big dime, for that dual edge pressure. Now, a lot of this nickel stuff is kind of like one nickel on one side. You're able to get something on the other, blitz everybody, press them until you get them to walk up the line of scrimmage. But that's the meta. Do these defensive formations provide something we don't already have? No. Sadly, it's just kind of, it's fine. I really wish they would have gotten a little bit more creative with some of the plays they had. Maybe do some more inverts, do some You guys know how we do big nickel and we put our CB3 on a deep third. We manually adjusted there. That'd be kind of a neat thing to do here. I know it's not as realistic and not many people run in the NFL, and that's the thing I know they want to stay true to is what stuff's been run in the NFL. But I mean, this is MUT stuff, right? A majority of their game or a big part of their game is MUT, so that'd be kind of cool to add plays that are specifically tailored to how we play in Madden versus just straight up NFL concepts. Like the new play that they added for the Packers came out in. Gun Y stack off, red zone halfback, scissors out of the Packers playbook where Aaron Jones goes to a corner. It's okay. They said that if you put it on the 20, it'll go to about the front pylon. I've seen I was able to get it completed against like cover 3 with at like the 5-yard line with the Jones or the halfback route, and I just smacked it between zones. That's cool and all, but it doesn't really work in game kind of like it does in the NFL. So it's fine. The playbook updates, I like it. I wish we would get more stuff like this. I love playbook updates. So even though you see me complaining here, I actually super enjoy these updates and additions to the playbook. It doesn't look like anything's too broken yet, but we've only had, 12 hours, less than 12 hours, 10 hours with this update. So we will surely practice and see going forward. But basically, the new stuff, at least on defense, it didn't feel crazy glitchier than what we've already been running with Big Dime 146. Big Dime 146 is the meta for a reason. But I'll keep testing it out over a few days, get some gameplays out of all that stuff. The goal line I haven't really used much either, so have to work on that. 4-3 odd. It doesn't have the sub safeties in a linebacker like it did last year, so that's sadly not as effective. So that'd be kind of cool to get some like more unique plays that would have safeties in there. Nasty Streak is a big update. Of course, I'll have this in the description below if you want to read through all this on your own. The Nasty Streak. I also tried it where I put my tackle at tight end, or I put my tackle, backup tackle, and then use a six lineman subformation, motion him out, and it still doesn't work. So Nasty Streak is dead out of position. A really good change to it, in my opinion, to basically say, hey, out of position, that doesn't work. Which is something that, doesn't happen with the abilities. But Nasty Streak was so overpowered against defensive backs, I'm totally fine with it being nerfed like that. So, updated counter for a threat detector ability can be countered hidden by defense by using the Bluff Blitz hot route. So, putting you guys on Bluff Blitzes has them take a step and then go back to their zone. So, kind of cool. Will it counter it? It'll be hidden on defense. So, like, if you put a Bluff Blitz on, the offense is going to know you're not blitzing anyways. So what's the point of Bluff Blitz? It can be countered hidden on defense. So like the offense will know you're not coming anyway. So if you put a Bluff Blitz on, that's useless. Right? Unless it shows that you're blitzing and then you back off. That would be a good counter. If it showed that you're blitzing if you throw on Bluff Blitzes. But it seems like they're saying it's going to be hidden, which means it isn't going to be shown. Am I right or am I wrong there? Let me know. Added logic can contextually slow down AI-controlled zone coverage breakout on the throw when they're not facing the QB and are moving at speeds too fast to change directions. This is my favorite. We alluded to adding more context. Alluded? That's the wrong allude. But that's more of a Madden NFL illusion. They're illusions, not tricks, Michael. That's what a whore does for money. So I like this. I think zone, when they're looking at the ball, breaking on it, fast and hard is fine. Not like superhumanly fast, but very fast is very NFListic. But when their backs are turned to it, sprinting, changing directions on like a dime and going back fast, and then get the acceleration boost by clicking on, that was unrealistic. So now you're going to see a lot more actual football concepts versus zones, where a streak's there, and then you have a corner behind it with a flat route to kind of like get into that soft spot between it. Whereas previously in cover 3, if you threw that corner route, because of how psychic DBs are, once the ball was leaving your hands, they were already running back towards the corner to stop and break up that ball. So this adds a little bit more of offensive strategy. Now, the problem is, and of course there's always problems, is that we don't have any routes or things on the field that will stop deep corners or crossers to the sideline. There are no current zones that keep up with those, so you have to cross-man them. So what's the freaking point of zone if you have to include man in it? Because there are certain things you can't shut down without users or man. terrible thing that they also didn't include the ability for either purples or some sort of flat route to play the sideline and deep on the sideline underneath a deep blue. Like, it used to be you'll take care of that because you just threw a deep blue out there and you cover both deep and medium. But now that they only cover deep like they should, we need stuff to cover medium, and then we need stuff to cover short like hard flats. We have hard flats. Those are okay. There's still some fuckery with them, but we need middle deep stuff. Like cloud flats you can argue is middle. Like middle deep, that 3/4 spot we need. We got full, we got halfway, we got up close. Now we just need 3/4. So hopefully get like a sideline zone that can cover that 3/4 that is can be responsible for crossers and deep corners. Anyways, added logic and textually slow AI. Oh, there it is. I went through that one. Fixed an issue allowing the offense to call timeout after having already started the kick meter. That was a nice little exploit. Rip that if you missed your kick to call timeout. But they patched that 2 years ago, so they repatched it. Weird how these things keep popping up, though, huh? Tuning to increase the defensive reaction to running plays for deep zone safeties in cover 4. So cover 4 is better against the run, which I did see a little bit in practice mode. I don't run a ton of cover 4, but I guess I'll see. Like I didn't really run into like guys coming out and stretch every play. Like they react pretty well. I saw in the zone play where they reacted and they kind of came down and shot over top. So that's neat. But if they react and they come down to like the A gaps, but you still get stretched out wide, they're useless. But that doesn't seem to be the case. They do seem to follow the ball carrier nicely. I still think there's some edge to be able to get around, but that's more of your containment issue than the deep quarter safety. So it's sad that cover 3 and cover 2 linebackers or linebackers in cover 4 aren't better off recognizing run versus pass now either. But can't get it all in one patch, I guess. They also messed up, so they forgot to include a defense for stretch. So force defenders, which are on the edge of the defense, which are supposed to make get the edge like Khalil Mack and stop him and stop and make the running back cut back because they have the edge. They still get hooked really easily by like just regular tight ends like Jared Cook. Jared Cook can still hook Khalil Mack on a stretch and double team pass it off to the tackle, which is an absolute loss for Khalil Mack. And if that happened in your life, he would feel a lot of shame. A great run defender, but he can't do it in this game for some reason. They still haven't fixed force defenders. So tuning, I'll talk about what I want fixed at the end. Still, tuning to reduce release time and tight end block release mechanic. Clint said on the stream, if you have 90 awareness tight end, they will release right away. If they're under that, it's a 0.2, I think, second modifier release. Fix an issue that caused ASU or ball carrier to rarely use special moves. Fix an issue preventing specific sack animation that appeared to be a fumble from registering as a fumble. All right, I've seen that like about a half dozen times. I saw that. It's really funny when it pops up, but frustrating when you don't get that fumble when you feel like you deserved one. Fix multiple issues with the ball bouncing around the player's hands in various states, left-handed quarterbacks specifically. Fixed issues with a special clock for cover 4 palms versus hot route and swing routes and twips. Palm still has the one-play beater and a 2x2 set by flat routing the slot guy and streaking the outside guy. That was something I was able to confirm. Fix the broken issue preventing additional defender from triggering tackle correctly during a broken tackle. Fix the rare issue causing the ball warp to the ground when throwing on the run near the sideline. Fix the rare issues causing the ball to warp to midfield when using pump fake mechanic while being sacked. Lol. Fix an issue allowing the offense to snap the ball before the QB was set when playing on arcade game style. And then an ultimate team jet touch passes are now passing plays, which is good for grinding to Mutt Master. So, my overall thoughts on the patch. I think it's a step in the right direction. I think they hit a few of the things. The Psychic DBs and the nerfing of Nasty Streak were the best two things to happen in this patch. Really needed. I hope they add more playbook updates, but I doubt they will. If for some reason, I don't know what it is about the playbook updating team. Everybody sings the praises of Anthony White who does this, but we get so few playbook updates like that over the years. We've had a lot more things taken out, it feels like, than putting in. I might be wrong there. We got a lot of RPOs this year, but overall, we need to see more rubber hit the road, more things actually get into game for us to actually play with. That is slightly different. That is exciting, different type of schemes, unique route concepts to actually get into the game and reach us players than just like a guy who like knows a lot about football and it's kind of like, oh yeah, he's really knowledgeable about football. I don't care. Get it to us players more frequently. Thank you. All right, and then the things that need to be patched going forward: force defenders doing their jobs, and QB releases are still too slow. Edge blitzes, contain blitzes specifically. Contains actually need to. Well, the weird thing about contain blitzing sucks because your offensive line gets confused. But if you run regular contains, they suck. So like it's a double suckage from both ways. Contains don't contain a quarterback from scrambling at all. Escape artist needs some sort of counter. They can swerve out spies. They can run around your contains, especially through the double team and defensive tackle and ID your defensive end. And they can cut stick the defensive end, then roll out easy as heck, and then make a throw on the run. So it's frustrating still. There's still some balance issues. Some meta is not good still. We're still going to see a lot of stretch and so on. So game's still got a while to go before it's kind of great, but it is on its way there. So that's it. Thanks for watching Call to Action. I'll see you tomorrow.